Good evening. We're going to go ahead and get our town hall meeting started. My name is Nicole Villarreal. I'm the Brush Country Chamber of Commerce. We want to thank everybody for joining us this evening. We welcome our guests, our candidates, and we want to thank our sponsors, Stockman's National Bank and Medina Electric. And so to start off, we're going to give all of our candidates the opportunity to give an opening statement. Let me go over the rules real quick. There's no campaigning allowed in or around the building during the forum. The moderator will conduct the meeting and has the responsibility to interrupt the proceedings to enforce the ground rules and format. Time limits are as follows. Your opening statement, you have 3 minutes. Primary question or your questions, you have 2 minutes to answer each question. Depending on the time, we may give you a closing statement, but we're going to watch the time, okay? A timekeeper will hold up the sign. That's Melinda, who's sitting to my right. She'll let you know when you have 1 minute left, and then we will give the stop sign, and you have to stop immediately as soon as that sign goes. All questions are pre-screened by the committee. No questions will be taken at the door or from the audience. When it is your time to speak, the moderator will call on you, so please approach the mic at the podium at that time. When speaking, please speak directly to the moderator or to the audience. Do not speak directly to any of the other candidates. This is not a debate. Use your time to showcase your views and opinions on topics provided. Vulgar language or hostile motions will not be tolerated. Brush Country Chamber of Commerce reserves the right to remove any candidate or audience member from the venue at any time. There will be no warnings for persons not abiding by the rules. You will be asked to leave immediately. Does everybody agree to these terms? So we're going to go ahead and get started, and we'll go from left to right. Yeah, we're going to start on this side. We're about to that. So go ahead and come on up, Manuel Rodriguez, and give your opening statement. You have 3 minutes. Go.
Okay. Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens. Good evening, everyone. First, I want to thank my Lord Jesus Christ for giving me the courage to be tonight. Thank you, Chamber of Commerce. My name is Manuel Rodriguez. Everybody calls me Cuate. I'm a current city councilman and running for county commissioner, prison 4 and 5. Because I'm so proud, because I'm proud of where we live, and I'm not satisfied with good enough for our families, our businesses, or our ranching community. Over the last couple of years, Cotulla has been moving forward with real improvements that people feel in daily lives, better safety and street lights upgrades, motorized sanitation services, and major progress that keeps the community alive, water and thank you.
Thank you. Jose Gonzalez. Hoser.
Well, okay, a little bit about myself. My name is Jose Gonzalez. I am running for precinct 4 and 5, right? So I've been in that area since I moved here when I was a kid, and now I'm a little bit older than a kid. So I'm a husband. I've been married to my wife for 25 years. This year will be 26. I'm a business owner. I'm a teacher, a coach, financial professional. So I really believe that running for commissioner is something that I'm cut out for. I've been to the Capitol. I've spoken with lawmakers, with legislators, with lobbyists in the past when I was part of the West San Antonio Chamber of Commerce. And I believe it's time for new leadership here in LaSalle County. I know that historically it's the same people running it over and over and over for however many years it's been here, but I just think we need a new vision, and I believe that my background in finance, my background working with kids, working with the youth, building up the community, building up new leaders as a teacher, as a coach, this is all something that plays to what would make a great commissioner. And I'm grateful to be able to be here, be able to be in good health, be able to have youth a little bit, still on my side, and be able to serve the community. So, I'm looking forward to a great campaign and looking forward to serving as your next commissioner.
Thank you, Mr. Gonzalez. Ms. Roxanne.
Good evening, buenas tardes. My name is Roxana Rodriguez. I have been living in Cotulla for 49 years, born and raised in Cotulla. I'm very proud to be from Cotulla. I'm your current Justice of the Peace. I've held my office for 7 years. I've continued my judicial training with the Texas Justice Court Training Center. I have over 100 hours of judicial training. I'm the mother of 3 daughters and 5 grandchildren. They are my life, the community, my career, my children, my husband. They are who I strive to be the very best that I can be. I am fluent, so yo hablo español todos los días. Y es algo que practicamos en la oficina todos los días, porque hablamos con las gentes de Laredo, las gentes de México, y usar el español es algo que practicamos, y that's something that I'm very big in. Is Spanish, speaking Spanish, which is my first language. I guess that's basically it. That's who I am and the current title that I hold. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Rodriguez. Judge Martinez.
Good afternoon, everybody, and thank everyone for showing up tonight. I know we have a little small crowd, but it means a lot to me to be up here as your current county judge. I've been your judge for the past 3 years. Before that, I didn't hold an office. I was in the private sector, and I was a deputy administrator, deputy warden for immigration and customs through the GEO group. I did a total of almost 28 years in the criminal justice side, working myself through the ranks up to a deputy administrator. Very proud of that. I held a top secret clearance through ICE and immigration. Unfortunately, I didn't like the direction it was going on the changes in the laws and everything, and the implementation that was coming down to our facility and our day in and day out. So I decided, let me throw my hat in here. And I was fortunate enough to become your county judge, and I'm very proud to be your county judge. I have my beautiful wife here today, my kids, my 2 boys, and my 2 older daughters. I love dearly. Their support means everything to me. As your county judge, the positions I've held, not even before I was county judge, I was the first created the FFA Booster Club for the kids here at the high school. I was the first president for the FFA Booster Club, which I created, as long as my wife and everybody else in there. I'm a part of the LaSalle County 4-H and FFA Booster Club as well. Member of the Catholic Church. I do a lot of volunteering with the Catholic Church, from barbecuing hamburger buns and bingo. I like doing their bingo. I'm also a member of the Cotulla Garden Club. I had to throw that one in there from his house. We belong to the Middle Rio Grande COG. I'm the 3rd vice president on the chair of the COG. I'm the CJAC chair president for them. I'm a board member of Camino Real. I've been on the TAC nomination committee, the Texas Association of Counties. I've been on their nomination committee. It's a great honor, especially for me, to follow my dad's footsteps as your current county judge, and I look forward to continuing. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge Martinez. Mr. Garza?
Hello, my name is Ricardo Garza. Everybody knows me in Ensenada by Poche, so, a lot of people don't know me by, nobody knows me by Ricardo or Richard, except at the ranches. Anyway, I've been working at some ranches this past few years, and I really enjoyed where I was at. And I've been trying to get back into county politics. I'm really not a politician, but I enjoy being as a county commissioner, and just like the judge was saying, he wants to make a difference in this community, and I'm up for the challenge. And this is one of the things that I always had, and I really never thought that I was going to lose my election, and I lost it, and I want to come back into it because I know I can do a lot more improvements. And I do have 3 boys, and my fiance's here tonight, Dr. Rivera. She's from Laredo, and she works for SCAN. I like to do a lot more improvements if we can with the members of the the County Commissioners Court, and with the city of Cotulla, the city of Ensenada, Artesia, Fowlerton, and I think there's another little town, Los Angeles, I think, in our community. Anyway, I'd like to be your commissioner again, and if you ever have any questions, I'm in Ensenada. I guess that's it. I'll let this gentleman come back up here.
Thank you, Mr. Garza.
For your attention. Thank you all for coming, and I want to thank Stockman's and Medina Electric for doing this for us. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Right?
Mr. Martinez?
First and foremost, I'd like to thank the Chamber for giving all the candidates an opportunity to introduce themselves or reintroduce to the public. I'd also like to extend a general to everyone who welcomed me onto the front porch, to their driveways, and into their homes for the last couple of months. I believe strongly that if you have the drive, the energy, the want, the need to serve your community, that you should take that opportunity. And that's why I have chosen to nominate myself as a candidate for the office of the LaSalle County Treasurer. My goals are to be the loyal custodian to the county. A little bit about myself to kind of illustrate. I too was born and raised here in Cotulla when we still had a bigger. I volunteered close to 20 years working with kids and parents through the Boys and Girls Club. I started my professional career as a safety specialist back in 2004 in corrections. And for the last 20 years prior to basically leaving that all behind for a regular 9 to 5, I used to report to state and federal regulatory agencies almost daily. I think that there's an opportunity here for me to serve my community, our community, in a way that I just haven't done before. I'm currently taking every moment I have working in the city to try to serve our customers and give them the fair treatment, the professional treatment that they deserve. And I hope that I gain that opportunity to give that to the county as well. I thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Martin. Now we will begin the question portion of meeting. And the first to go up would be the Martinez.
We have 5 minutes, right? Go ahead.
You have 2 minutes to answer
Alrighty.
the question, okay?
Sure.
Question number 1. Judge Martinez, what budget priorities would you protect if revenues decline?
First and foremost, I walked into a declining taxes, especially during the era where we had lost 30% of property taxes when I first came into the office. My ideas were thinking outside the box. I went and we partnered up with a solar panel company, which was bringing us about $4 million on Texas ag exempt property. The property had no oil and gas, nothing. So with that vision, I'm bringing in $4 million for the first 10 years. After that, we get 100%. So that's going to be twice as much of that. So it's just not being the norm. It's going outside of the box and looking what potential properties and things that we have in our county that we can bring revenue back into the county. It's just not about, holding the taxpayer accountable. We got to make sure we're bringing ourselves and putting, back in. Luckily enough, the detention center, it was in a decline. We ended up buying it. I can guarantee you I'll make over $2.2 million, and the sheriff was there since the past year. And that is a lot of revenue for our community. And that comes back to our regular fund. So little things like that I help the sheriff, run, and with my connections, we have that facility up and running very good. The solar panel projects, the battery storages packages we have here, everything else that thinking outside of the box. Because remember, LaSalle County does not just live on oil and gas. We got to think outside the box.
Thank you, Judge Martinez. Next question is for Treasurer, Mr. Martinez.
I didn't think I'd be nervous that first time around. So I apologize.
What are the primary responsibilities of the county treasurer, and which are most critical right now?
So the general responsibilities is the overall custodianship of the county funds and the revenues and their expenditure. What's their priority right now? Going into that office, I'd have to, it'd be an inheritance, right? And I'd have to see that inheritance to actually examine what it is that needs to be looked at and modified or updated and upgraded. Speaking of inheritances, I got one 2 years ago. And before that, it was running perfect. Everything's always running perfect till someone new comes along. I don't want to reinvent the wheel. But I believe that things need to be upgraded. And by taking the time to assess and examine what's going on, we can determine what exactly we'll need to do. And as far as overall priorities, it's just ensuring that that the county keeps getting their money in, that the county keeps being accountable for their funds, and that the county is transparent in how those funds are managed. I think overall that should be the priority of any treasurer's office. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Martinez. Next question is for Commissioner, Mr. Garza. Oh, no, I'm just announcing that it's the questions are for the commissioners.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Garza, you are provided with a limited budget for road and bridge upkeep in a county precinct. What priorities would you make to ensure efficient use of funds for maintenance and repair of the roads in your precinct?
Sure. One of the things that I remember when I was there is that we had close to $1 million, I think $5,000. And every commissioner had about the same. And take care. One of the things that we have to do is, of course, take care of our roads, get good caliche, because you get some caliche from other places, and you have to look around to see where your good dirt is at, because sometimes you buy bad dirt and it's not, it's a nightmare. Anyway, you got to do that, and you got to take care of your equipment, and of course, we also deal with the food bank. So that is one of the things that I would have to steward with that budget, and I'm not familiar, but I'm pretty sure it's close to $1 million per, right? Somewhere around there. Yeah, it's close to $1 million, and that's what we are left with, and we take care of as much as we can. And when I was there, Telma would always keep an eye on our budget and let us know, well, this is how much you have, and this is what you can do with it. And so I'm pretty sure that whomever is going to be there is going to be they're going to do the same thing to keep yourself in a budget. Any other question? Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. The next question is for JP Rodriguez. Mr. Rodriguez, what kinds of cases will you hear most often, and how will you prepare to handle them fairly?
We hear more eviction cases is what we have. So an eviction case, there's your plaintiff and there's your defendant. And it's all about rent, it's all about money, it's all about contracts, whether they break the contract, whether they keep the contract at bay. So that's mainly the cases we hear. And there is, in the judicial world, there is not being fair. Okay, it's doing what's right by the law. It's being biased and having a biased opinion when your defendant and your claimant and your plaintiff and your defendant come in, and then you go by the evidence that is being brought in both by the plaintiff and by the defendant. So can you repeat the question one more time? I want to make sure I answered it right.
What kinds of cases will you hear most often, and how will you prepare to handle them fairly?
So also as a judicial, we do not look at cases before we hit the bench, because then we form an opinion. And when we go into the courtroom, we won't have a biased opinion. So it's always good to never look at the case beforehand until we get to the bench. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez. Judge Martinez, it's your turn again. Yes. It's okay, no pasa nada.
Sorry about that.
It's okay. Judge Martinez, what's one tough decision you expect to make that might be unpopular but necessary?
Unfortunately, when it's dealing with my juveniles, the amount of homeless juveniles we have in our community really hits me hard. It definitely, I've been brought up in a world where I can deal with murderers, killers, gangsters, and everything. But when it comes to our kids, it rips me in two. And it's not the kids' fault, and I always bring it back to the parents. So I am hard on the parents. My job is just not being your county judge. I'm a judicial, probate, juvenile, and all of the above. So that's about the hardest thing in this seat that I've dealt with. The other little problems, there's not really problems. It's just people. We can solve those issues. But the neglect and the kids, the juveniles, that is my hardest thing I have to do. And that's on a daily basis. That is on a daily basis. And you would not imagine some of these conditions these kids live in, you know? And I do everything in my power to make sure we have the people in place and the outside agencies funded and making sure that our community is taken care of. You know, I created the LaSalle County Juvenile, through the county, I forget their name, I went blank. Child Welfare Board, that's what it was, with Miss Franklin, you know, with Belong, with the Child Advocacy, CASA. I make sure they stay funded because that is our future for the county to move forward.
Thank you, Judge. Mr. Martinez. The Martinez's back-to-back is confusing me, just so you know.
No, I'd be giving the wrong information out. That's not good for me.
Mr. Martinez, why are you the right person to be trusted with the county's finances?
My primary focus the last 2 years have been indebted with the trust of the community to want their accounts in order to maintain and upgrade. I believe in accountability. I always have. I believe in transparency. I always have. I believe in internal reviews. I believe in an internal infrastructure that fosters accountability. I've never been beyond reproach as far as my accounting skills when it comes to the upgrade and maintenance of our customers. I believe that is why that may be one of the reasons I feel I'm eligible and would be a good candidate for the office of treasurer. The other part is that in doing all of that, the cooperative effort that many people don't enjoy in some offices, I can offer that. Cooperating with individuals that have an ideology against you or maybe even a different agenda. Working together to resolve our budgeting crises in the future. That's why I feel I'd be an eligible candidate for the office of treasurer.
Thank you, Mr. Mr. Gonzalez. What decisions has the county made recently that residents might not realize affect them directly?
What decisions has the county made recently? Things that affect them directly are the budget, right? Taxes, what's coming in, what's going out. Different projects that are being funded. Things that they may not know that comes out of funds for them, or they may not think, well, man, hey, there's a splash pad, but that's not for me. I'm not going to use it. Yeah, but your grandkids will, or your kids will. The AstroTurf project over at the baseball field. There's an investment there that is going to impact generations going forward. And while a lot of people might not totally get that it affects them, these things do affect them. I know there's a lot of stuff going on right now with just kind of making sure that our fire department, our first responders are being paid right, and going back and making sure what are they doing and things of that sort. These things affect them, right? Making sure that we are fully staffed, or that the staff that we have on hand is doing what they're supposed to do. These things affect them. So I would say that pretty much everything the county does affects all the residents. And thank you for calling me up, because I thought Wata and I were just going to be hanging out watching the rest of the show.
Thank you, Mr. Gonzalez. Because there are more commissioners here than anybody else, I'm going to call up Mr. Rodriguez. What percentage of the county budget is discretionary, and how are those choices made?
Well, first of all, about the budget, I cannot really tell you. I'm gonna be very honest with you. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. You have to be in there to really know numbers. And I'm elected. I am gonna go. I'm in there and I'm gonna see everything, the budgets and everything. I don't want to put anybody down. Nothing. I cannot say anything wrong or anything good because I'm really not in there yet. There's different ways, different intentions to go inside and work with the budgets. You have to go and see everything. Not only you have to go and see everything. I'm elected as well. I'm gonna go and see what's my budget. I'm gonna go and see what has been spent and what has been spent. I have to do also research. How we can do better and save also, for the county. It's not, I've never been a commissioner. Excuse me, I'm very nervous. It's my second time here. Well, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. About budgets, I have to be in there, and I will check everything. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Rodriguez. What do you see as the primary responsibilities of a justice of peace in this county?
Again, as a judicial, our primary responsibility is we're the justice of the peace, okay? We are not here to, or any justice of the peace is not here to make sure that there's unfair bail, there's unfair citations, in other words. We review everything. We look at everything. When I came to office, there was a lot of indigent families or indigent individuals that had stacking citations, one citation after another, after another, after another. They didn't have a driver's license. They didn't have insurance. They didn't, so on and so forth. It got to where it was too much for them to pay. As individuals, we know that they are indigent. We ask them to fill out indigent forms. We review the indigent forms. And so we try to help. We try to help them in the way, how can we help you obtain a driver's license? Because without a driver's license, you can't work. So you work with the fines. You modify the fines. You offer community service. You offer occupational driver's license. There's ways of helping individuals instead of saying, just pay the $1,000 fine, figure it out. No, we don't do that. That's not what a justice of the peace does. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Mr. Garza.
Yes, ma'am.
What can LaSalle County do to attract economic development, improve employment rates, and workforce preparedness?
On the way over here, I was discussing that with my fiance. We were, we need some type of programs for retention of people here. Get them whatever the education they go get, and then come back into the community and have that retention of people in our community, because we need people here. And I guess I would really have to discuss it in the commissioner's court of the things that we can attract to this community, more businesses for, we need a Pizza Hut, we need a Whataburger, we need things like that here. This community is a great community compared to when I was in high school. I remember when I used to walk from the high school, me and my friend Steve Alvarado. We would walk, we were in high school, and we would walk all the way to the Dairy Queen. It was like no big deal. And today it's so neat because y'all have all this neat stuff that we didn't have. And, you know, I think we need to liven up the community inside of Cotulla also. Like the chuck wagon. That needs to be something, you know, and bring businesses back into our community. The same thing with Encinal. Encinal it looks like a little ghost town, you know. You know, unfortunately, I had a business for 31 years, and I closed it about 5 years ago due to COVID. I got sick, and I just didn't have that, you know, that wanting to be there anymore. I don't know, I was having issues with employees, and one of the issues was people don't show up in time. You know, people don't show up in time, and is it almost my time?
Yeah, it's done.
Yes?
Thank,
Okay.
thank you,
Well,
Mr.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mr. Gonzalez. Mr. Gonzalez, are there any programs you believe are underfunded or overfunded, and why?
Off the top of my head, no. Just because I don't have, again, kind of like what they was saying, I don't have that experience as a county commissioner to come in and say, hey, this is overfunded, that's underfunded. I'm with the judge when he says, you know, he's there for the juveniles, safety and our kids, right? That's what would be my top priority. It's my top priority now. I teach self-defense. We've run a business since, 2016 in San Antonio, 2018 here, where we teach self-defense. So, you know, safety is paramount. My oldest son, or our oldest son, is firefighter, paramedic here. So he's a product of, you know, our firefighter cadet school that was put together. And I just think that safety could be, I hate to say overfunded, but you could throw more dollars at safety, and I don't think anybody would complain. Throw more dollars at the youth. You know, I'm a middle school teacher, so I see these kids every day, and I hear some of the horror stories of where they live and how they live, and I'm all for putting extra money towards kids to help them, whether it's just give them a meal, because sometimes these kids, you know, the only time they eat is at school, or to give them a better place to stay. And I know a lot of these kids, you're a product of your environment, and their environment is almost unreal. If you would look at the way they grow up, you would understand why they are the way they are. So if we're looking at funding something, I'd, again, throw more money at safety and our juveniles, our youth.
Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez. Mr. Rodriguez, is there a policy that you would like to revisit, one that maybe was done away with?
The policy, I have to go and check which type of policies, which type of policies they were removed. I mean, that's one thing. It's like I said, and I have to be in there. I have to be in there. I mean, to do my job and give y'all the right answers for that. Like I said, I will not criticize anyone. I will work with everyone, and if there's a policy that also has to be brought back. Sure, I'm all for I'm also, you know, for the safety of the kids, and I'm about moving forward in progress, you know. I mean, safety and policies are very, very important for a community. Yes. So also as well, I mean, it's including here. It's including also in Gardendale, Fullerton as well. I mean, I think a lot about them. You know, I mean, their policies and their safety as well. I'm for them.
Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez. We did 2 rounds of questions. Now we can do a closing statement. Oh, I'm sorry. Ms. Rubio, right? Yes. Yes, she's just gonna introduce herself, and she's got 2 minutes.
Whole story about who I am. My name is Susan Story Rubio. I was born here in Cotulla a little while ago, and my parents divorced. But my father was Dudley Story, and Bubba and Shuggy and Carl and Lance. I'm the oldest of all of them. So my parents divorced, and my mother moved away with Bubba and me, and we were always here. But and I did move back, and Bubba ended up moving back and staying, but my stepfather got ill while I was living here, and my mother needed me, so I had to go back home. I was going to stay. But I went to school. I graduated from high school in Carrizo, so I stayed close. My mother's from Crystal City, so I always say I'm from the Golden Triangle. Most of y'all, some of y'all, few of y'all might not know who I am, but I know who you are. And I've been here for a long time. I moved back to Cotulla in 2012. Last year, I was looking for something to do, and somebody said, I want you to run for Congress. I was like, why me? And they said, well, because we think you'll do a good job. And so I prayed about it and decided I would do that. And then we got redistricted. We got redistricted from 23 to 28, which is, I believe, is a very good thing for LaSalle County, because I feel like we have more in common with Webb County than we do with Bexar County. We're closer to Webb County, where our demographics are closer to what Webb counties are. That is the hub of 28. But after I was redistricted, Patsy Lee, who was the former Republican chair, asked if I would be interested in coming and taking over. And I said, sure. And the reason I said that was because I've grown up here, and I am a Republican, and doesn't mean that I have not voted Democrat, because living in this community, I have always voted Democrat. And so it has been important to me. And I think that what I'm looking forward to the most is the diversity of ideas and being able to prove that we can all get along and play in the sandbox for the day. We lock arms as Americans, as Texans. We are friends. We can't let politics those things, draw those things. One thing that is important, uphold. So a little bit about me, and I appreciate all of y'all being here. Y'all being here in the audience. Look forward to y'all ever have any questions.
Thank you so much. Now we can do closing statement. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I forgot. Go ahead.
First of all, I'm going to do a little closing statement. Can y'all do it 3 minutes for
We can
each?
do it 3 minutes.
Okay. Because I want y'all to know what's the importance about being in the table and making decisions.
Yeah.
Making decisions. One time we had a grant right here in a city council meeting that it was going to mark our area, our town, as a blighted town. Blighted town means it's an abandoned town, a poor town. Okay. I'm after HB, Walmart, and so on. Housing, we're already moving towards housing, affordable housing, okay? We are moving forward as the city of Cotulla. And well, I met that person because I told her, can you explain to me what blighted means? Didn't have an answer. I went to the TML in Fort Worth this year, and I ran into her. She said, I remember you. Yes, ma'am. You were the one that asked me about blighted. I said, yes, ma'am. There was a guy passing by. I'm not sure which town that they were from. And she was like, sir, come over here. Y'all did get our grant, right? And he was like, oh, yeah. So I introduced myself. He introduced himself. And then I told her, ma'am, we're after businesses, HEB, Walmart, housing, and so on and so on. Do you know that if we were to motion your grant, there was $1 million grant to upgrade Front Street. Just because it's money out there, you cannot fall for everything. You have to see, you have to pay attention to every little word, because one little word can ruin your area. Okay, so I told her, ma'am, I want HEB, Walmart, and so on, all kinds of businesses to our town. And she was like, Councilman, they won't even notice it. I don't care. I ain't gonna pass our people through over $1 million. How much is $1 million on a business, especially county and stuff? You have maybe a budget of, and I'm not gonna go over budget, but example of $1 million spent, material, labor, equipment, and fuel, right? Being a commissioner, okay? Working on your roads, okay? Example, how it easily goes, okay? So it goes fast. You have to look at your subgrade. You have to know the difference between your subgrade and a pothole. You have to check fence life, what is needed. The money goes. So are we gonna ruin our area over $1 million? That once it's blighted, it was always gonna be marked blighted. Do you think businesses are gonna want to come over here? No. You have to see who you put in office. And you know what? We've been moving forward towards the Harlem Dam. We've been moving forward. I've been a voice. Mm-hmm. If y'all want to ask me any type of question about how we've been moving forward and how we've been working as unity. Unity is very, very important. It is very important. That's how progress move forward. The differences to the side, it's all about team. It's not about me. It's not about differences. No, you put that to the side. Let's work.
Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Gonzalez.
Okay, so as we wrap up, again, I'd like to just reiterate a few points. Why I'm running. I know that LaSalle County is doing some great things right now. We've got strong leadership that is looking towards the future and saying we need to invest in our future. And I believe that I can be a part of that and then help bring it just maybe a little bit of a different insight to help the commissioners, the judge, to be able to help them see things maybe from just a different perspective. And then work with the judge, work with the commissioners to make it a safer community, make it a community that can partner with our school district to educate our youth so we can, as Mr. Pocha said, provide these youth with an education where they want to stay here and they're able to stay here because they have employable skills and they're able to go and run a business. It's, a cousin of mine had Theo Nons, right? He had an old school Chicago eatery, Chicago beef. And his biggest complaint, one of the reasons he closed down, was people wouldn't show up. Friday night, nobody's showing up to work. They're all at the game. Right? So when we have people that aren't used to working, it's hard to bring businesses. So we need to bring employable skills through the school district, through different programs, so that we can get these kids working here and then teach them the value of hard work, teach them how to not only take pride in themselves, but in their community. I came back after 20 years in San Antonio. I've worked with SeaWorld. I've thrown concerts at the Alamo Dome. I worked in radio, worked on TV. I've learned how to work with a diverse group of people. I've made connections along the way. And I think that somebody with this skill set would be valuable to the county. And as a cheerleader, as a cheerleader for the county, as an advocate for the youth, for businesses, you need somebody that has that experience. You need somebody that has been through the fire, that understands finance, that understands how to balance a budget, that understands, like my wife and I, how to feed a family, right? We've got 3 boys. Sometimes I think they got termites because they eat everything, right? Like they just eat and eat and eat, right? So somebody that understands not just a family, but also your kids. I've taught a bunch of your kids, your grandkids, and it just makes sense to me to work with you, to work with the community. And I can't think of a better way outside of teaching, a better way to serve my community. So thank you.
Ms. Rodriguez?
First of all, thank you to the Chamber. Thank you to Stockman's and Medina Electric for putting this event together and to the Chamber of Commerce. I've been your Justice of the Peace for 4 years. My first 4 years were my learning years. There's really not much that can be done in 4 years. It's your learning years. These last 4 years, I've networked with a lot of judges. I've held and ran roundtables for surrounding judges in the areas. We network together. We talk cases together. We figure out solutions. My finances are great. I've never had a problem. We make over half a million a year. I'm very proud of my employees. Since day one, I have had the same group of 3 employees in my office, and that says a lot. That says a lot about me, and it says a lot about my office, and I'm proud of them. I'm proud of them because we've stuck through hard times together. Other than that, it's experience. I came in as the underdog. I was the underdog when I first came in, and I think that I've proven myself with my fairness, my open door policy. I was the only office to provide services during the lunch hour for the working community, and we continue to do so. Now, I think other counties have jumped on board, and other offices have jumped on board and are also open. And it's all about thinking about the community and the constituent and what's good for them. And as a employer, thinking about my staff, thinking about their children, and what kind of a person I wanted to work for, what kind of a elected official I wanted to be able to speak to, and not be intimidated, and not be afraid of retaliation. So again, thank you for this opportunity. I was a little bit nervous, but I hope I did good. And have a good night.
Thank you.
Well, first and foremost, thank you, Chambers, for hosting this, our sponsors for tonight. I was hesitant of doing this at the beginning, but I'm here as your county judge, that we're moving forward. We're doing the steps necessary to take our county to the next level. I've had to go and rebuild relationships with my surrounding counties at the Capitol, DPS, Texas Rangers, U.S. Marshals, you name it. I've knocked under the doors. They've opened them. They're back in our community, supporting us 100%, funding our senators, our representatives, our congressmen up in D.C. I had to rebuild those relationships that weren't there. And with that saying, like I said, I'm third vice president on the Middle Rio Grande Council. We have a unique opportunity in November for our kids. We have the opportunity to place on the ballot to be part of the Uvalde College District. They're willing to come and invest in buying the Volvo building, buying an empty hotel for their dorms, and providing up to 5 to 6 industries, current industries, nursing, gas, even fire and safety, police academy, whatever I want. And those were because of me and my commissioners allowing me to do this for our community. I love my community. And I'm dearly grateful to my commissioners for allowing me to put Cotulla back in the map. But because without them and without their support and our county support, we would still be the little Cotulla. My pueblito es todo para mí. And there's where I want our kids to and be securely invested, with the high school. The bridges I've done with the city council, with the school district, with Middle Rio Grande, with ACOG, with all these other judges. That my thing, every elected official has a chair at my table, and we discuss every opportunity, and they are heard. There is nobody being silent or anything. So that's where we will continue to move forward, and I will continue to make sure LaSalle County is on the map. Thank you all. Y'all have a good night.
Thank you. Mr. Garza.
Thank you all for doing this. I want to congratulate the. Thank you, sir. I want to congratulate for you all doing this. Thank you for inviting me. It was a great thing. I like it. I think everybody did a good job. Congratulations to all of y'all for showing up. One of the things that I want to convey to you all is that I love being in Ensenada. My mom asked me some time ago. She said she loves living in Ensenada, and I like it too. I love it, and I want to represent our community. I want to help our county do the best that we can to do what we can for our constituents. I want to thank the Stockman's National Bank, Medina Electric, for hosting this, and thank you all. Thank everybody that was here today. And as far as my job goes, I want to be responsible in stewarding the money that we get for this community, for the county, and that we take care of our money and do the responsible things that we need to do. And I'm an honest guy, and my work ethics are pretty good, so I still work hard. And I want to thank you all for showing up, every one of y'all, and I wish you luck, every one of y'all, and myself, of course. All right, and I think you should have said, instead of when you said blighted, they said, well, we don't want to feel slighted. That's good that you did. I wish you luck, sir. All right. Yeah. I wish you luck, and I wish everybody here. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. And drive safe. And thank you very much for doing this. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Garza.
Mm-hmm.
I'll try to keep mine short and sweet. In closing, the gravity of the treasurer's office does not escape me. A lot of people in our community will be affected by the decisions that we make in that office. But those decisions will not be made alone. And they will not be made with minimal information. And they will not be made on a whim. They will be made with the most possible insight of data that can be gathered at that time with the individuals that know what's going on. Outside information is something that can be parlayed later. It's the internal structure that we develop and establish in that office that determine basically the lives of individuals in our county, the people that work. If the budget's not handled right, and we're not in constant contact with the commissioners and the county employees, well, for example, the commissioners, if we don't do our job right, we delay their projects. And delaying those projects affect our community. And that's why all that information needs to be assessed as quickly as possible and as egregiously as possible. And that's what I want to do. I want to be part of the team that helps the county grow. I want to be part of the team that keeps the county accountable for what it does and how it uses its money, and for the money that comes in. And I definitely want to be part of the team that gets those projects up and running. I'd like to thank the Stockman's National Bank, the Chamber of Commerce, Medina Electric, everyone who's been involved with putting this together, and again, giving me an opportunity to introduce or reintroduce myself. My name is Isaac Martinez, and I'm running for county treasurer. Thank you.
Thank you. On behalf of the Brush Country Chamber of Commerce, thank you for saying yes. It's important that you are transparent. It's important that you show yourselves and you make the time and the effort to address the questions and the concerns of our communities. And so we are very grateful for you coming out. I know it's nerve-wracking. You know, not everybody's used to being behind a mic. But y'all did a wonderful job. And thank you so very much. Unity is very important. United we stand, divided we fall. And it's important that we work together. It doesn't matter the party that you're in, that the South County, Cotulla, Encinal, Angeles, Artesia Wells, Gardendale, Milete. It's important that we work together to make sure that our community. So again, God bless you all. Thank you, and have a good night.